Imagine building like the absolute ultimate supercomputer. You've got flawless architecture, brilliant software, but you refuse to plug it into the wall.
Right, it's just a dead box at that point.
Exactly. You have this mathematically perfect structure with absolutely zero pulse. And, well, that exact paradox is the core of Dr. Pramod Ambadasrao Pawar's 2026 text, The Pramod Effect.
It really is the perfect analogy for it.
Welcome to this deep dive, designed specifically for you, the curious learner. Today, our mission is to bypass all that dense academic jargon, the trans-deconstruction stuff, and just extract the massive aha moment.
Yeah, that core idea that absolutely nothing in the universe is separate, and how realizing that can completely revolutionize how you learn and, frankly, how you exist.
So to understand why separation is so dangerous, we have to look at this pretty terrifying parable Pawar shares right at the beginning.
Oh, the Himalayan Rishi. Yeah, it is intense. He describes this Rishi who desires pure, absolute consciousness, like a state called Chetana. But to get there, he actively rejects all dynamic physical energy, or Shakti.
Right, because he views vibration and physical matter as just distractions from pure thought.
Exactly. And the result is intensely visceral. The very instant he separates his mind from that physical energy, the divine power just withdraws.
His flesh literally dissolves.
Yeah, muscles, blood just gone. He is left on a mountain as a paralyzed, rattling skeleton. So he achieves the awareness of a god, but the physical impotence of a stone.
It's that unplugged supercomputer again. I mean,
Right.
You want the brilliant software of the universe without the electricity to actually run it.
And you can take that dead pulse a step further. This paralyzed skeleton really represents what happened to a lot of 20th century thinkers.
Oh, right, because they became obsessed with deconstructing everything.
Yeah, breaking society into isolated categories, separating the observer from the observed, isolating thought from action. But when you isolate the parts like that, you lose the unified energy holding it all together.
So the skeleton is basically the ultimate dead theory.
Spot on.
Okay, so if isolating things just leads to a dead end, how do we put the universe back together?
Well, Pawar proposes this concept called the Monified Truth. And he argues mathematically that when you perfectly balance consciousness and physical power, they cancel out their divisions. You arrive at zero.
Right.
But here is the really radical claim. In this framework, zero actually equals one.
Wait, you are completely losing me here. If I have $0, I don't magically have $1. How can consciousness minus power equal zero, and then zero suddenly equals everything?
I know, it sounds totally absurd until you unlearn the Western concept of zero. Zero here does not mean an empty bank account or some black void.
Oh, it represents shunya, right.
Yes, exactly. Think of shunya like a massive, unshaped lump of clay. It's not a teacup or a bowl yet, but it holds the absolute undifferentiated potential to become anything.
So returning to zero doesn't mean you have just vanished.
No, not at all. It means you have stripped away the artificial boundaries and returned to the unified source of everything. And that unified source is the one.
Okay, I get it now. So it's like returning to the raw material of the universe. But how does that change our actual physical reality?
Well, it completely flips how we view energy. Take Newton's famous falling apple. We are so conditioned to see energy as bound by gravity, just falling downward into a dead end.
Right, it just hits the dirt and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, but Pawar replaces this with what he calls the ascending apple. Energy never just drops into a void. When an apple falls and rots, the soil absorbs those nutrients, it feeds a tree, and it pushes new branches toward the sky.
So the mechanism of the universe is constant upward recycling into a larger linear network.
Exactly, it's a continuous loop.
Let's bring this cosmic recycling down to Earth, though. What does this actually mean for you, listening right now? How does this change how you learn? Because the text introduces this Digi-Guru educational model, which flips the script to a 90-10 principle.
Right, 90% internal awareness and 10% external guidance. Practically, this means dismantling the whole idea that the student is an empty vessel.
Yeah, instead of sitting quietly while some authority figure dictates facts to you.
Exactly. The student spends 90% of their effort actively synthesizing concepts with their own lived experiences. The teacher merely provides a 10% nudge to keep them on track.
I love this. It's like you aren't an empty hard drive waiting for a teacher to download files into your brain. You are a power generator, and the teacher is just the spark plug.
That is a perfect way to put it. And this dissolves traditional hierarchies entirely. Under the law of anti-alienation, learning becomes an internal awakening of underconnected knowledge you already possess.
Because if you and the universe are part of the exact same unified, energetic lump of clay, you aren't separated from the knowledge at all.
You are a vital, active expression of that cosmic pulse.
You are the electricity and the software working seamlessly together. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought to take with you today.
Oh, definitely.
If energy never truly vanishes, and every fall is actually a biological and energetic transformation into a larger connected network, well, how does that completely reframe what you previously thought of as your biggest personal failures?